Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fabs in the house. And today I've got two version 2 Specter from Holt Bladeworks here with me for a review. And as usual, we're going to analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of these guys. But first of all, let's check the size and dimension. This is a 3.6 inch long blade and a 4.5 inch long handle for an overall length of, you do the math, a little bit over 8 inches. So really cool, guys. Let's just do some size comparison just with one over here, because basically they're the same. This is Ontario Rat number 1, and we also of course have Ontario Rat number 2, pretty popular options right over here. Look at this, right in between these two guys. Also we have let's say the comparable options from Spyderco, Para 3 and Paramilitary 2 going on in the house over here. So again, in between these two offerings from Spyderco. Another couple option we can throw in the mix are Chris Reeve knives, large Sebenza 21. What else we have here? This is a pretty cool Shirogorov Sienkiewicz collaboration Pero right over there. Awesome knife. Another fancy one. These two guys, by the way, thank you, Guillaume. This is the Curtis F3, also really cool blade. Something that I really love, it's this guy, Randy Doucette Metalhead. Look at that, very comparable in size. What else do we have here? Yeah, something pretty popular. This is the Spyderco Schmock, and it's just a tiny bit smaller than this guy. You see, handles a little bit shorter, blade a little bit shorter, but it's in the same ballpark. And what else you guys want to see? A big boy, yes. Custom Knife Factory Snafu 2.0, and let's do this guy because we have it here. Spyderco Rubicon going on right over there. So let's check these two guys out because they're pretty insane. These are prestige versions of the Spectre. These are version, let's say 2.5, because they are sporting, for example, first thing you can notice, the centering backspacer right over here. This is a more advanced version with less clearance, as you can see. There's some difference in between these two guys, and also you can see the different jimping pattern from the actual version 2. So that's why I'm calling these version 2.5. In fact, version 2 doesn't have centering backspacer, where these guys are having that. And of course the length of the backspacer is the long one, as opposed to the shorter version 3 backspacer right over here. So basically these are prestige because in this case you can see zirconium scale for the presentation scale right over here going on. Really cool. This is just titanium, but it's it has this pretty nice gradient anodization, and of course they are both sporting Timascus pocket clips and Timascus backspacers. In this case you even have a Dama steel blade, whereas here you just have a regular M390 steel. So the prestige grade is recognizable by the different materials in the handle, in the backspacer, in the pocket clip, and in the blade. So these are what sets these guys apart from the refined version of the Spectre. They are pretty insanely cool and expensive titanium frame locks right over here with the 3D milled scales going on. The version 2 doesn't have internal chamfering in the scales. It has a pretty nice lock bar insert going on with adjustable detent over here. So basically you need just a little screw which is provided in order for you to regulate and tweak the strength of the detent to your liking, which is absolutely beautiful. Also, what I really appreciate is the very short travel that the blade has to do before meeting the detent ball, and then it just glides down closed like that. So really, really cool. Also, I really like the design of the pocket clip. Nicely done with this area over here, and nice ramp. It has a pretty good tension. In the version 3, it has been improved with a new cut right over here, and just a slightly lower tension, in my opinion. Maybe because this is Damascus also. And you can see that the screw is hidden, and that's where you start to see this feature, because version 1 had just a visible screw right over here. So that's going to be basically your first clue that you're having to deal with version 1. Check for the screw visible. The construction is pretty simple. I mean, you have one pivot, T15, and two screws right over here, T8. Very, very straightforward disassembly for these guys. Easy maintenance, easy to clean them up. Really, really nice. Of course, you have a 3.6 inch long blade with various finishes over here. This is something really, really nicely designed. There's some beautiful crowning going on, right amount of jimping, which is a little bit, in this case, not that functional, because in this side over here is just buried down a little bit, and then not as accessible as this part over here. And then the blade just goes down like this into this nice drop point over here, 30% belly, which is showing like a straight edge up to the sharpening choil right over here. Beautiful, beautiful chamfering going on for the flipper tab, with 4 ridges for the jimping, 4 nice grooves to give you some nice traction when you do your light switch, or even if you do like a push button opening method kind of thing. So very, very nice. Stock thickness, guys, is pretty thin, super slicely, full flat grind, nice edge going on. The polish on this Dama steel is just nuts. It's just nuts, just really beautiful. And also I appreciate Dama steel because there's no billboarding, like for example there's no Lion and no M390 right over here. So it's much cleaner looking, really, really cool. I like the plunge grind, which is reminding me a little bit of the Shirogorov, but this is not as sharp. It's more rounded off, so really, really nice job over here. Also, what I appreciate, guys, is the sound. Really clacky, clickety-clacky. And this guy here, a little bit lower, because of the materials employed are different. This has an internal stop pin, which is hitting up against some zirconium, and just doing like that. So really a little bit different than this guy, but overall very, very nice clickety-clack action sound going on over here. The weight is going to be around 3.6 ounces for these guys, so not too heavy, because they have some skeletonization going on the inside on both scales. So really, really cool job indeed. No sharp edges going on. It's super comfortable in the hand. This finger groove right over here, it's nicely designed. There's some seriously nice ergo going on. The lock bar is pretty easy to disengage because it's cut out and it's protruding like this amount over here, so it's easy to catch and just push it to the side to close the blade. So nice. Easily reverse grip, nicely done. The handle sticking out a little bit, you can just use your thumb like that and it's gonna be pretty nice. The texture, it really depends. I mean, this is a checkered pattern for both these guys. I think that the feather pattern is probably the grippiest of them all. The second grippiest would be the moray pattern, and probably the sleekest, the pinstripe, is probably the most slippery, but it's so cool, guys. It's really, really nice. I really like all these patterns going on over here. This is also like a starburst, pretty grippy as well. But I mean, overall, it's very nicely done. The backspacer is solid. It keeps the scales together, no rattling. Very sturdy construction. I cannot feel any flex or anything. Deployment speed really fast. There's nice amount of chamfering going on in the flipper tab. Nice amount of jimping. So there's not much finger soreness as well, because you can also decide the strength of the detent. So that's why it's gonna be, you can have it super light or super strong. It's up to you. So but it's gonna still be smooth and very fast. This guy is running on bearings, sorry, but there are some hardened and polished washers in between the bearings and the titanium scales to give you that extra smoothness in the action. Also, you have, in this case, you start to see the centering backspacer right over here, which is going to give you a little bit more protection. But even if you couldn't touch the tip of the blade, but you see it's even more protected. In this case, zero rattling when you shake these guys. Also, like, not many parts going on. Also, there's no lock stick, of course, because of the stainless steel insert right over there. And the detent has a very short run. Like, you see, that's the angle, that's the amount of space of travel that the blade is doing before the detent to hit the tang of the blade. So very short, nice action over here. Of course, you have free fall and guillotine effect all day long with these guys over here. So I mean, amazing look, really great action. The sound is spot on. Ergos are good. Guys, you can't go wrong with any of these guys. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.